Okay, my number 5 favorite episode of all time. Season 1, episode 23, The Light of the Hospital Ward. You've gotta figure, if the Hell Link were a real thing, while there would be bad people damned for good reasons and good people damned for bad reasons, there are gonna be people who are damned for no discernible reason at all. One of our darkest fears is that life is totally meaningless, and if someone can send you to hell for no reason, that would just amplify that fear. The Light of the Hospital Ward is that episode. The writers go there. They do a whole half hour on a good person being damned by someone we never really know for reasons we never get. The Light of the Hospital Ward is, I think, an episode that a lot of shows wouldn't have done. This show did it. They did it well. Kudos to them for pulling it off. My 4th favorite episode. Season 1, episode 15, Island Woman. Ooh, Island Woman. How islandy you are. This is just a straight up balls to the wall, great gothic story. It's so... The expression on the protagonist's face when she goes down to the basement and finds what she finds, that's your reaction, because the episode doesn't prepare you for that. It's... the show did a really good job in setting you up, because the show had been kind of backing away from its horror elements for a good stretch of episodes before here. So when this comes and it's just straight up the full corpse, you're not ready for it. It takes you by surprise, and it's just horrifying. My 3rd favorite episode. Season 1, episode 25, Hell Girl. Yes, you have to include this episode on any list. Hell Girl's origin story. I love that the show waited until just before the end to give you the full Hell Girl origin story. They held it back, they made you want it, and then just before the end, they laid it out there. And it's just executed perfectly. It is the most heartbreaking, saddening, yet real story that you could want. It sets up the character wonderfully. It just, you cry for Hell Girl, you cry for her situation. And it also makes sense within the continuity because it sets up the story. It is told at the point of time in the story arc where it needs to be told, not sooner, not later. And it augments what's going on, and it helps us understand the pain, and it helps us understand why I is snapping when she's snapping. My 2nd favorite episode. Season 3, episode 13, 6 Coin Lanterns. Oh, I have a love-hate relationship with Season 3. Season 3 is so annoying in its blatantly bad choices. I could do a whole half hour on how Season 3 screwed itself up. But if you get past those mistakes, as blatant as they are, the underlying story and the underlying feeling of Season 3 is compelling, and no more so than this episode. Not going to spoil anything because the whole emotional hammer of this episode is in the closing scenes, which come out of nowhere and are the very best twist ending Hell Girl ever did. And considering Hell Girl did a lot of good twist endings, that's saying something. My favorite Hell Girl episode of all time. Season 1, episode 26, The Ephemeral. The finale, the closing chapter of the Hajime Sugumi story. And it's so crushingly heartbreaking and uplifting all at the same time. It's the ultimate payoff for all the work that has been put into developing the Hajime and Tsugumi characters. It's human. It is so human in the emotions of Ai wanting to hurt someone the way that she's been hurt, in the breakdown of Hajime in reliving the heartbreak of his wife dying, the heartbreak of Tsugumi in learning the truth about what happened to her mother, and coming to grips with the imperfect person that her father is. It's the moment where, despite all of that, she says, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. My love is stronger than my hatred of the things that you did." That's the best in humanity, and that is the moment that allows I to come back from the brink and in beautifully animated series. And then at the very end, of course, in the middle, just after this very beautiful sequence, Hellgirl reminds you that it's fucking Hellgirl and blows up the monastery. And it doesn't really explain it. It just lets it happen, and then I walks away. Almost like a 50s Western. It's like, okay, I've done what I have to do. Let's ride off into the sunset. And then just leaves Hajime and Tsugumi standing there going, what the fuck just happened? Encapsulates everything that is good about this show when it does what it does well. Well, thank you, Hellgirl. Happy holidays, everybody. Give your loved ones a hug, and don't pull that thread.